I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax system was put.
Well, yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, these only deals, they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal.
Yes.
Way more.
They can't see
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway, in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building.
Right.
So find somebody else.
Jay Prince, the man who built Rap-A-Lot Records and carved his name into Houston's streets, tried to pull his infamous check-in move on 50 Cent, thinking he could make him bend. But instead of folding like so many others, 50 turned the whole play upside down, putting the game on blast and daring Jay Prince to clap back. What used to be quiet tension between Houston's street empire and G-Unit's ruthless no-breaks mentality has now blown into an all-out clash that feels bigger than rap. This isn't just industry drama anymore, it's a heavyweight collision at the street level. To really get how this storm erupted, you gotta rewind the tape. Jay Prince isn't just a name, he's a living power move. The founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, the Shadow King of Houston's underground, the man who's been running things for decades with nothing but presence. He doesn't even have to raise his voice. Just his name alone makes artists fall in line, because in Houston, if you showed up without checking in, you might leave stripped of your jewels, or worse. But then came 50 Cent, a man who's never bowed to anyone. From his early days going head-to-head with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the Murder Inc. crew, 50 made one thing clear: he doesn't do mob politics. G-Unit was built like a war machine. No checking in, no begging, and absolutely no paying for protection. That whole "I don't bow to nobody" attitude, it clashed head-on with Houston's street code. So when whispers started flying that 50 Cent might actually relocate to H-Town, everybody knew fireworks were coming. And it wasn't gonna be quiet. If 50 really touched down in Houston without checking in with Jay Prince, that wasn't just disrespect. That was a full-blown declaration of war. And guess what? He did it. What started out as a long-distance Cold War quickly turned into something way more dangerous.
Maybe we need to change the words for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Hello, maybe we may want to tell them they need to get.
50 was up in New York doing what he does best, running his mouth, trolling the entire industry, making headlines every week. Meanwhile, Jay Prince sat calm in Houston, holding his throne like the city's silent boss. They threw subliminal shots at each other for a while, little jabs here and there, but neither dared to actually cross into the other's turf. That is, until 50 casually dropped a nuke on Twitter. "I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later." That wasn't trolling, that was strategy. 50 was bleeding money in New York with those brutal taxes, while Houston gave him everything he wanted: lower taxes, more land, and a booming rap scene ready to be conquered. And let's not forget, Branson Cognac needed a southern stronghold, and Houston's liquor market was blazing hot. 50 saw the bag, saw the culture, and made his move. But here's the twist: he never checked in. And Jay Prince, he wasn't about to let that slide. Word on the street is Jay Prince saw 50's Houston move as a straight attempt to sit on the throne without paying respect. Allegedly, Jay Prince sent some of his people to apply pressure, and whispers say he even wanted 50 to cough up money for local protection. But 50? Nah, he wasn't built for that. He made it loud and clear: G-Unit rolls with their own squad, they don't pay to play. Period. That's when things really started boiling. Rumors began swirling that Jay Prince was trying to slap a no-fly zone on 50 in Houston, basically banning him from the city. That type of power play might scare smaller rappers, but this is 50 Cent we're talking about. Instead of backing down, 50 flipped the whole thing into a show. He turned up on Instagram like it was a reality series, dropping memes, slick captions, and cutting jabs that had the entire internet tuned in. He made a circus out of the whole check-in drama and threw down the gauntlet. He dared Jay Prince to step up, and he did it in the open for everyone to see. But behind the laughs and trolling, things were getting messy. 50 had been quietly building a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio in Houston, a project that meant jobs, internships, and fresh creative energy for the city. It looked like a power move to plant roots in H-Town, until suddenly, the whole plan got yanked and shifted to Shreveport, Louisiana. Officially, 50 blamed it on better infrastructure, but the timing told another story. Come on now. If you were really watching, you already know the truth. The streets in Houston were heating up, and 50 wasn't about to play chess with snakes. But here's the wild twist.
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Forever. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing.
Jay Prince may have tried to edge him out, but the city itself, Houston rolled out the red carpet for 50 like he was royalty. In 2022, just 1 year after touching down, Houston didn't just tolerate him, they celebrated him. The actual mayor, Sylvester Turner, handed 50 Cent the key to the city and made November 24th officially 50 Cent Day. During the Thanksgiving parade, crowds went crazy while the mayor praised him as a philanthropist and entrepreneur, shining a spotlight on the way 50 was backing local high schoolers through his Unity program. And there he was, standing tall on that parade float like he had been H-Town born and raised. But 50 didn't stop there. He doubled down and embedded himself deep in the community. Through his Unity Foundation, he gave back heavy: turkey drives, toy giveaways, school donations, real moves that touched everyday people. This wasn't just a relocation. 50 was becoming a pillar of Houston, and he flipped his business hustle into a full-on citywide power play. Linking up with the Houston Rockets, Texans, and Astros through his Sire Spirits brand, he made his name part of the fabric of the city. By 2023, he donated $850,000 worth of toys, and in 2024, he raised $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity, just by auctioning off 2 giant bottles of his Le Chemin du Roi champagne. That charity event raked in a jaw-dropping $6 million, and while the city was cheering, Jay Prince was allegedly sitting back like a king watching his crown slip away. The man who once ruled Houston's streets from the shadows now had to watch 50 Cent soaking up all the spotlight, being honored like the city's new favorite son. Then Tony Yayo, G-Unit's loudest voice, stepped into the mix. In a Vlad TV interview, he finally broke the silence and said what everybody had been whispering. He explained why 50 never played the check-in game, and he didn't sugarcoat it. Yayo laid it out plain. The check-in system is nothing but a slick setup for extortion. You check in, you pay up, or you risk getting robbed. That's the unspoken code of the streets. Jay Prince built his entire reputation on being Houston's protector of artists, the self-declared king who dressed up this whole operation as a friendly safety net called checking in. But let's be real, that friendly system sounds like a hustle in disguise. Here's how it's supposed to go down. An artist pulls up in Houston, and the first thing expected is a check-in with Jay Prince's camp. That respect usually translates to running some cash. They'll tell you it's about keeping you safe, making sure if your chain goes missing, they'll get it back.
You know what I mean? Because the little homie YoungBoy place got broke into. People went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, YoungBoy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, and all that shit that they took, and the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
You got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, you got your keys, you got a bunch of other shit.
But the truth is, if you don't check in, that's when the real pressure starts, and the drama gets dangerous. That night pulled in a staggering $6 million. A win for 50 and a gut punch for Jay Prince. Picture it. The man who once ruled Houston from the shadows, now allegedly sitting back, forced to watch 50 shine in broad daylight like the city's brand new king. Then Tony Yayo, the wildest voice of G-Unit, came swinging with the truth in a Vlad TV interview. He broke down the exact reason 50 never bowed to the check-in game, and he didn't bite his tongue. Yayo said it flat out. The check-in hustle is nothing more than a slick form of extortion. You check in, you hand over money, and if you don't, you risk getting lined up, maybe even robbed. That's the dirty little secret behind the so-called system. Jay Prince built his legend on being the ultimate protector in Houston. He crowned himself the city's unofficial king, packaging the whole thing as a friendly tradition called checking in. But when you strip away the sugarcoating, it looks like nothing more than a setup to reach in your pockets. Here's how it supposedly plays out. You land in Houston, and before you even touch the stage, you're expected to pay respect to Jay Prince's people. That respect usually means dropping cash, all under the promise of safety. They'll tell you, if your chain goes missing, we'll get it back. But if you refuse to play ball, that's when the storm hits and the real drama begins. Yayo even brought up Pop Smoke's situation as the ultimate warning. Pop's death wasn't just a tragedy, it was a message to the whole industry. When artists move without solid protection or lean too heavy on shady street alliances, they turn into easy prey. And Yayo didn't hold back. He said it straight. Street protection always comes with strings attached, and when things go left, nobody's really pulling up to save you. He broke it down crystal clear. All those mob ties and gangster connections, they don't just bring danger, they bring the Fed straight to your door. This isn't the 90s anymore. This is RICO season, and the feds are watching every move. Yayo made it clear G-Unit wasn't risking that. They'd rather stay strapped, move disciplined, and owe nobody than get caught up with street dudes chasing hidden agendas. Then came the NBA YoungBoy drama that lit the city up. He rolled into Houston for business, refused to check in, and boom, his spot gets hit. Chains gone, cash snatched, even his car keys disappeared like smoke. Out of nowhere, Jay Prince pops up on Instagram claiming he recovered the stolen goods. But instead of handling it quietly like a true boss, he blasted it online in a full video, turning the situation into a PR stunt for himself. YoungBoy wasn't having it. He fired back, saying if Jay Prince was really about helping, he would have kept it off camera. Instead, he made himself look like, in YoungBoy's own words, a 60-year-old clout chaser desperate for some online shine. Karan and M.A.E jumped in too, dragging Jay Prince straight through the mud. They said it blunt. Real OGs don't extort, they uplift. And if you're still trying to play mob boss in your 60s, you've already lost.
Hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. I don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway.
Then came the whispers about one of his most infamous side hustles. Those dice games. Jay Prince's second favorite grind right behind intimidation. These high-stakes dice games are legendary in Houston, but not for good reasons. Word's been floating for years that they're nothing more than rigged setups, designed to trap rappers and bleed their pockets dry. And the most devastating example? Takeoff. Everyone remembers that night. What started as a casual flex turned into a shootout, one of the darkest and saddest moments in hip-hop history. And the setting? A dice game fueled by money, ego, and street politics. So what really went down that night? According to whispers in the streets, this wasn't just some random tragedy. Rumor has it Jay Prince was heated, allegedly upset that Takeoff and Quavo didn't check in the right way. Word is, he told his crew to send a message. It was supposed to just be intimidation, just a scare, just some light pressure, but it spiraled into chaos and ended in blood. Takeoff lost his life, and when the smoke cleared, Jay Prince moved like an escape artist. Every time the subject comes up, he dodges accountability, deflects questions, talks in circles, and downplays it like it was nothing. At one point, he even hinted that evidence had been destroyed. And here's the most chilling part. Takeoff wasn't the only victim tied to these so-called games. Remember Duke the Jeweler? The man had just walked away from a dice game with $100,000, probably feeling untouchable, but he never even made it back to his car. Ambushed, robbed, and murdered in cold blood. Another young black man gone too soon, and for what? Rigged dice, a shady setup, and some twisted street code of honor that has nothing to do with real respect.
You're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problem.
And Junior was walking by. He actually went in the restroom to wash blood off his hand where he had reached up on the takeoff. He had to pick him up, and his fingers went in it. You know.
Now put that side by side with 50 Cent. Out here building community centers, feeding families, and dropping bags on school donations. The contrast is wild. One man's building a future, while the other's clinging to the past, ruling by fear, intimidation, and dice games gone wrong. But this isn't just trolling or Instagram jokes anymore. Word is 50's playing a whole different game behind the curtain. Insiders say he's been talking to people off camera, piecing together proof that the check-in hustle is nothing but polished extortion. And he's not stopping at talk. He's moving chess pieces. He's even hinted that the feds could get involved. And if that happens, it's checkmate. See, 50 doesn't play checkers. He's a chess master. Those memes, that's just the cover story. Behind the scenes, he's stacking receipts, holding on to leaks, waiting for that one Fed tip, that one explosive post that could wipe Jay Prince's entire legacy in a flash. One of them may have the streets, but the other has the city. And right now, it looks like only one man is truly winning this war. 50 Cent didn't just move to Houston. He planted his flag and took it over, while Jay Prince allegedly tried to scare artists away with shadow games and pressure plays. So here we are, two titans standing on opposite sides of Houston. On one end, Jay Prince, the shadow figure who built an empire out of fear, dice games, and the check-in system that's been whispered about for decades. On the other, 50 Cent, who flipped the entire city on its head, building studios, feeding kids, and turning Houston into his second home while daring anyone to stop him. The question is, how long can this standoff last? Will Jay Prince keep dodging accountability while trying to hold on to an old playbook? Or will 50 push so hard that the feds finally swoop in and change the game forever? One thing's for sure, this war isn't just rap politics anymore. It's history in the making. And now I gotta hear from you. Who's really winning this battle for Houston? The silent Don or the fearless hustler? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe for more, and share this video with your crew. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next chapter in this wild saga. See you on the next one. 50 pulled up bold, got handed the key to the city by the mayor, and started building real programs that give back to the people. Now that once feared check-in empire is shaking, cracking under the spotlight of exposure. So the real question is, who runs Houston now? The street figure still moving in the shadows, or the man standing front and center, backed by the city, the fans, and the next generation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is 50 pushing things too far, or is he the hero hip-hop needed to finally rip the mask off this underground hustle? Don't forget to hit like, smash that subscribe button, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth. Because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.